Okay, we assume that you just blew up and destroyed the hive. You're a hero, yay, and then they totally forget about you. So let's move on, and we're going to first talk about being able to move on. Aura tells you get in a ship, so you open up your little inventory and specifically go to ship hangar, and they've given you one bright and shiny new ibis. If you hit Alt Y, you might have something in the redeem. If you don't, well, then life sucks. If you go in the item hangar, though, they might have given you an Inception package. Now, funny thing is, you're looking in a ship hangar and going, all I got is a cruddy ibis. You go to Inception hangar, open that, and say open the container, and it gives you some stuff. Amongst them are mining laser upgrade, salvager, a blueprint for a Merlin, a miner, and a venture. And the venture is the ship that I'm going to go for right now because I want to make a point, and a venture is a great all-round starting ship for a rookie if they're doing PvE. It kind of touches a bit of everything, so that's what we're going to go for. So now if I go back to ship hangar, you can see that there's a venture there. So if you double click it, that assembles the venture, and if you double click it again, that moves you into it. You notice that the pod just disappeared because the pod has now been inserted into the venture. So from here I can actually go. Question is, where? Well, what you want to do is do the career agents, and we're doing one specifically today, and that's the exploration. But to do that, you have to get there. So I hit F12. F12 brings up Eve Help, and the third choice down has Show Career Agents. You click that, and you get a list of the nearest career agents, including a button that says Set Destination. Now, if you look up to the left, you can see that I currently have no destination. But as soon as I say Set Destination, I can see that 3 jumps away is the place where I can learn things. That's what you want to do. So you close that, close Career Funnel. You can open that anytime. Close the Eve Help. That's just by left clicking. And I don't really plan on coming back here. So I right click and say everything here, stuff it in the venture. And I do. So now I got nothing left at Todaki where I was starting from because I am picking up shop and moving. Leaving an Ibis behind doesn't matter. Ibis is the Corvette that you start with, and it's not a really important ship. And you get it free anytime you dock without a ship. So I can leave that behind and not feel guilty. I close down my inventory now that I'm done, and as Aura is telling me, hit undock, upper right. Now, a nice thing about setting a destination is you can travel really quickly if you don't listen to Aura and don't use the autopilot.
In your route will always have a yellow icon like the one below. Find this gate in the overview and jump through to move closer to your destination. You can also activate the autopilot to automatically warp and jump your ship towards your destination. While useful, the autopilot is not as fast as manually traveling from gate to gate.
That is very true. Autopilot is, as I say in Rookie Help Chat, a punishment for the lazy and a gank me sign that you hang on yourself. Don't use it. It's slow. What you do is you click on the yellow gate, as I call it, follow Yellow Gate Road. And a little known thing is if you click on the top of the icon column, it moves the yellow gate right to the top of the list. So if you have a very busy area, this helps you. So once you've selected the gate, you go to the selected items list. Now I'm going to make that icon a little bigger by dragging it out some. And just click on the third button or hit D. So I hit D, and you can see that I've pivoted around. I'm coming up to speed and should be heading out very rapidly. And nice thing is that autopilot drops you about 15 kilometers from the gate, and then you slowly motor in normal space time to get to the gate to take it. This takes me, as you can see, I'm coming in about 1 kilometer off the gate and almost instantly entering it. As soon as I go through, top of the list. Look, it's already pre-selected the Erkio gate, and I just say jump again. This time I clicked rather than hitting D. Pivot, uncloak, and I'm moving. Side note, some people ask, and it is a way, if you ever want to quit the tutorial or have her just be quiet, if you click on the 3 balls to the left of operation, there is a choice, skip tutorial. I do not recommend that, but I do mention it just in case you want to get out of that part of the thing. But for the most part, this link is going to be for people who've already finished the tutorial and are actually into the career agents. I'm just showing transport and travel because that's where I picked up for this character. Again, click, click, boom, and I'm in motion. Ship speed and warp speed depends on the hull that you're in. Not all ships travel the same way. Freighters are slow as molasses, interceptors fast as lightning. The Venture's not bad, but it's not the fastest thing going, but I'm traveling 8 AU in less than a couple of moments. And as I said, I'll probably be there before the first person finished entering warp in autopilot. Autopilot is bad, okay? Nice thing is when I set the destination, not only does it set the star system, but you'll see as I exit warp here that even the station is yellow and selected and at the top. So I go click and bang, come out of warp and go into warp straight to the station. And again, I won't land 15 kilometers off, I'll land next to the station and dock in very short form.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Find the career agent you are interested in working with in the agent section of the station services and start a conversation with them.
On the right hand side underneath the school and services are 4 different tags, and I just want to mention them for a second. Guest shows you this is all the people that are currently docked at this station. Agents are the agents who may or may not talk to you, and if it says available to you, they do want to talk to you. If they're not, then you're going to have to raise standings or figure out why they don't want to talk to you. Offices are run by corps. No corps are allowed to start in the newbie system. And hangars are, oh, I was wrong, sorry, they are, some of them are there. Weird, wouldn't have expected that. But I don't care about guests right now, I want to talk to the agents. So I go to the agents, and the one that I want to do with you today is the exploration career agent. So I can right click and say start conversation. Up she comes.
The career agent has offered you a mission. Accept it, and you will begin your chosen career path. You are now in the good hands of the career agents. I suggest exploring different careers with their guidance. I will now enter standard operations mode as your ship's AI.
And that ends the aura guiding you along that first part of the tutorial. Now we're into the career tutorial where you get a lot less hand holding and a lot more learning necessary. So I'm going to close that, she's done, and I have to start talking to the agent. So you read this, and basically it says I'm going to have to go out, find a proof of discovery anomalies, and come back. If I do that, I'll get around 250,000 ISK for just doing this. One thing, people forget this all the time. They read this, say, yeah, I know what I got to do, and they undock and they forget to click accept. So you left click accept. You now have a job to do, and it's now time to go out and do it. So I can minimize or close this. I'm going to close it. Undock. Now it said open your sensor overlay, and a lot of people seem to think that because this is called sensor overlay, but that's not the thing I'm looking for. What I want to do is hit Alt P. If I do that, I bring up a whole bunch of scanning things here, and this is the solar system that we are in right now, and you can see there's all sorts of things there. But the main thing I'm looking for, there's asteroid belt remnants, anomaly training. Now the thing is that there's combat anomaly training, which that one is, and there's also cosmic signatures and alarm. But I want to find one that actually has the things that I want, and I may have to shoot which means I may have to dock and put guns, because right now you can see I've got absolutely nothing fitted on the old Venture, which is not the best way to go. So if you decide, oh Lord, I forgot something, you just say fine. I right-clicked on the station, because it was right there, and said dock. Bam, right back in the station. Fitting your ship. Let's just go down to this and say Alt F. Brings up the fitting, and you can see, yep, I have a totally empty Venture. Not the smartest thing. I can open the ship's cargo hold by hitting that button, or Alt-C, or click it down there, which is what I did. And I'm going to A, empty out all my stuff, and B, at least put a few things into it. So I'm going to put on my miners, so I can mine if I want to. Now the smartest thing is, technically I could fit a gun to this. There's 2 gun turrets. A Venture can be fitted as a weapon, but the biggest weapon area for a Venture is drones. Now best drones to have varies depending on where you are, but by habit I usually go for hobgoblins. So I'm going to go here, type in hobgoblin to save some work, and say hobgoblin ones. And it says, oh look, you could get these for, and the price varies a lot. What you want to do is sort by price, and then you can see I could have accidentally clicked that and spent 10,000 a piece on hobgoblins, as opposed to, now if I was willing to travel I could spend down to 4,000, but I'm willing to go 4,600, so I say buy that, and can I have 2 please? So money gets debited. And if I look into my inventory in the item hanger, there's 2 lovely hobgoblins there. And I can just say, you know what? I'd really like those if they were in my drone bay. But there's one thing. Show info on hobgoblins, specifically requirements, and you'll see to be able to use those puppies, I need to spend some time. I need drones, 3 trained, and I need to train up light drones, 17 minutes. But before I can do that, I need drones 3. So I have to say, add level 2 to queue. Let's see, skill queue, click that. Okay, I add the frigate training. So drones. Put that there, put that there, and I'm training drones. Now, I really don't want to wait 8 hours to be able to continue this video, but fortunately, I'm fairly sure if I pause and go apply skill points, I just finished one of them. Pause. 6592. Wow, look at that. I now know how to fly drones, but I don't have light drone operation 1. So it says here, skill book not injected, requires skill book. So I say, I'd like to buy that skill book because I actually want to be able to fly this drone. 50,000. Do I have enough? Yes, I do. And so now in my drones list, go back to my item hanger and look, there's a book there. And I can say, inject skill. Now, injecting does not train it. It puts it into your head so that you can see light drone operation is now there. So again, I can go there, and it takes 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Don't feel like waiting? I think I'd remember after 2 or 3 instances. 248. And I can now use my drone. So I have a weapon system for this. Now, we have a ship that has drones as a weapon system. In our little cargo thing, we unloaded a whole bunch of stuff, not all of which is necessary, but for now we'll leave that as is. I've got nothing in the mids. I've got no acceleration. I've got no shield regeneration. I've got nothing. And so we're taking out a fairly low-end ship, and this may or may not play well for us. If you forget what the mission was, you can always go over here and you see Journal is Alt-J. You open it up and you can see that there is one mission, Agent Missions. Open that and you can see what they said. So you can remind yourself if you forgot what they said because you got logged off, you had to go to dinner, something like that. Come on up so I can read all of this. Anomaly training site. Once you're there, you're going to have to do things, and you see this is going to pay more than I actually expended. I spent what, 50, 75,000 on things, and between the drones and that one drone book. But now, so I am going out into the wild worlds and looking for an anomaly training site. So once again, close that, undock, and we're heading out. Now I feel a little less naked because I haven't got a ton of stuff, but I got enough so I can do this. Alt-P, bring it up. Anomaly training site. And notice that right there, there's a button that says Warp to.
Warp drive active.
And so we're on our way there. We close this so we can see what we got and what shows up. Well done, you're now inside Cosmic Anomaly. Normally there'd be bad guys here, but somebody already cleaned it, so I just have to find the proof of discovery. Move my drone bay down to the bottom. This is just by habit for me. You can put it where you like, but I like it bottom right. And you can see that there's two drones there if there'd been nasty stuff, but right there is a training container. You can see it says spawn container, holds things, and I just click open cargo. Now it's too far away, but this just means that if you click open cargo, you're too far away, you get that error message, but you notice it also is immediately focusing, pointing towards there and heading over. Okay. You'll need only a single document that serves as proof. So as soon as I get there, let's talk about speed. Personally, speed for me is life in this game. The faster I can go, the faster I can get things done, and the faster I can get away or close distance with an enemy. So I say loot all, I get my proof of discovery, close that, click on the station where I came from and say dock again.
Warp drive active.
Just like the jump before, this means I go directly to autopilot would be slow, this is faster. You also can open up and see the list of what you're supposed to do. If you click on that, you can see right now the only thing I have left to do is dock. I'm on my way, and you could talk to the agent that way as well. Having that open as a reminder of what the heck am I trying to do does help.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
So I've come all the way back. Start conversation with the agent and say all done, complete. My wallet goes up by 250,000 ISK and I say I'd like to do number 2. It says same thing, only this time they're going to send me on a tour, but I get a free ship when I accept the mission. I'm not going to use it, but I will be getting a free ship. So they're going to show us what ruin sites look like, cosmic mission sites look like. So I say fine, I say accept, I definitely want to see all this. But as I said, I'm tired of going slow. So I am going to open the market. And I'm going to go with a micro warp drive, if there's one available locally. Normally they cost 40, and somebody has brought 17 over and is trying to make almost 100% profit. Nice work if you can get it. So I'll say instead of that, why don't I just take a look at afterburners, which will make me not as fast, but faster, and I can get one of those for 15,000. I just made $250,000. I will buy one of those for now. Then I'll open it and see it sitting right there, and instead of dragging and dropping, you can also right click and say fit to active ship. And now if I look at my fitting, you can see that there's a lovely little afterburner sitting there that says, without it, I travel 385, with it, 776. So I've doubled my speed. Cap stable means I can have it on all the time and it will keep me moving. Okay, so I head back out to do mission number 2. See, this one doesn't have a thing I have to scan for. What it has is a warp to location. So when I clicked on the mission box, it opened up and it said, look, just go to there. Click on that button.
Warp drive active.
And I pivot around and I'm heading off to where I need to be. I'm going to minimize that because nothing's chatting with me right now. Top left, you have where you are, who you're working for, or who owns the region. This is constellation. This is the region that you're in. Ah, now she's talking to me. So she points out that to see the first site, I have to go through the acceleration gate. To go through the gate, you have to be within 2.5 kilometers, but I'm right next to it. And so I just select the gate and say activate. The gates look like giant, I always think they look like ladders in space. And what they do is they're almost like a linear accelerator. Just pick you up and throw you a couple of tens of thousands of kilometers in a direction. Think of them as the doorway into a room in a dungeon. Okay, so you get to look around, say exploration. Oh, it says there's exploration supplies right there. So I say, great, open it up, and I'm not a patient man, so I am going to activate my afterburner and head over there twice as fast as I was moving before. About 2 kilometers every 3 seconds. Get close and look, they have a whole bunch of presents for me, worth about 61,000, but very handy and necessary for the rest of this set. 5 cargo. Oh, I forgot to empty my stuff. Silly me. So, what shall I get rid of? Do I care about survivors? Kind of. Do I care about a civilian miner? Not at all. So, I get rid of it. Boop. Jettison. Yes, I'm sure. Jettison that away. Throw it out. I don't want it. Back to the box. And everything fit in. If I really want to, I could come back and pick up that jettison container, but I don't care. So now it's activate the next gate. Take the probes launcher as well as civilian analyzer, head into the 3rd pocket. So activate gate.
Warp drive active.
Again, line up with the ladder of speed. And this is all automatic pilot working, not me. Takes a second to get around the supplies. It aligns with. Again, throws me a about 30-40 kilometers long. This is what a data site might look like. Thing is, some of these things would be openable, and we'll talk about that in the next mission. And you do that via hacking, which we also do. But this is mainly just a guided tour. Ooh, look at the pretty things. Isn't this pretty? Yes, that's nice. Flowers, whatever. So you say, good, let's go on to the next one. Bang, bang.
Active.
I selected the acceleration gate, left click, and then said, fire away, and poof, off I go again. This is a relic site. Usually looks like disasters have happened. Personally, I think it looks like that rock tried to eat something and failed, but same thing. It's just a view, shows you what you might be looking at, looking for, and when you're done rubbernecking, Activate the gate
Warp
again.
drive active.
Gas clouds look like clouds of gas. Okay, and they actually are mining. If you find a cloud of gas, you can select it, which these can't be. And if you have gas mining skill, which is expensive, you can mine that, which is far more valuable than rocks, but it has a big upfront expense to it. And now that you've done the tour, it says, good job, report back to the agent. So we just pick the station again. Stations are square, gates look like a pie with one slice taken out of it, or one slice left.
Warp drive active.
And we go heading on back to talk to the agent. If you really want to use autopilot, it's that little A in the bottom left, or Control S. Seriously, don't. Okay, so we've docked. We have that agent, so we can right click and say start conversation and complete mission. We just made almost another $250,000, so we're doing okay on the old bank balance right now. And we got a free ship, so if I open up this and take a look, you can see that in the ship hangar I've got a Bantam now, but we're going to stick with the good old venture that we started with. Now she says, we're going to go do some scanning, and to do that we're going to need to fit in the parts that we got. The first one is, there are 3 types. So we're going to do a data site. So when we open up our gear that we have, and I'm actually going to empty out the old venture, which I should have done last time, into the item hanger, we are going to add the scanner probes that we need. We are going to fit a core scanner launcher, and we have some analyzers here. And since it says we are doing a data site, I'm going to fit the data analyzer into the ship. Okay. We also have a relic one, and in a little while they're going to say fit a relic one on, so I'm just going to jump ahead, so to speak. And you can see that I can now go to data sites or relic sites and complete both types of missions. I have a probe launcher. It needs ammo. And to load things, amazingly enough, drag drop actually works. So that puts all 8 probes into the probe launcher ready to go. If I was in space, well, actually I think I will show you reloading in space, because it fits to guns and to this launcher. So we're ready to go. We still have rig slots empty, and we still have our low slot empty, and we still suck for having any kind of defensive capabilities, but we're ready to go do what we have to do. So we have to go out, find a data site, and hack it. Okay, if we can do that, looks like another $250,000 coming our way. So we say, yes, we're ready to do this. And this is where people have the most difficulty in this game, is this next part. Not the click on dock. I think most people manage that. Now, one aside, you can see there's a ton of people doing small secure containers advertising for various Russian corps and other corps, and I hate sitting in the neighborhood where there's a lot of traffic and a lot of people. So first thing I'm going to do is right-click open space and head out to a planet, just to be away from most of the crowd. So I picked Planet 2. I'm going out to 100 kilometers off of Planet 2, and this is just so I'm out of the way of everybody else. Planet 2 looks like a temperate one. If I was doing PI, I could set up a base there and try to make some money off of it, but I don't right now. I may make a vid about that another time. But for now, I'm just going to move on to scanning. Now again, Alt-P brings up the scanning. And we had all those cosmic signatures. Now one of those is probably a data site that we need. And we have this map, and if you can barely see it, and I'm not crazy about the lighting that they do right now, but if you zoom in, you can see there's all sorts of sites there. And the trick is, I have to figure out how to scan it down so I can see what's what. On the bottom left, there are choices as to how to launch your probes. I always launch pinpoint. So I say pinpoint formation, and all of a sudden these blue circles pop up. These circles are in 3D, as is the solar system, and these are my probes. Right now they're at 8, but I can make them, or now they're at 8, they were at 4, and I can even bring them up to 16. You can control the size of the probe measure. And you can grab it by that center box, which I call the handle, and move it around. If you pivot, you can also grab by the arrows and move it in any one specific direction. So you can grab by the center box, or you can grab by the arrows. And I've got it centered. I'm going to take it up to 16 because I want to do this badly. I have done no skills on this character that involve scanning. I've just been training the ship skills. So I'm doing this as cold as you would be rather than having a fully trained skill. That's why this guy is called demonstration. Once you've done it, you click Analyze. The probes move to their various positions, and then they start the actual probing. And what they're doing is comparing signals from each other to triangulate to the various cosmic signatures. So on the left-hand side, you can see I've already half found a relic site, a gas site, and a data site. I've also found some that I don't know what they are yet because I haven't scanned them down well enough. But seeing as our mission is the data site, you can see I got a double signal for that. But what I'm going to do is move these guys over to the orange data site and try to get in the middle of it. Okay. Make sure that it looks good on both 3D, it's inside, and take it down one step to 8. Hit Analyze again and see what happens. So the first pause is the probes moving into position, and then the blue sweep is them actually again doing their measures and comparing notes. Data site still isn't giving me what I want, so I'm going to center on one of those two and try to scan it, and if it doesn't pay off, then I'll do the other one. Enough with trying to split the middle. Move, scan. A double signal usually means you're getting one ghost signal because your probes are not placed well enough. But, did you hear that nice little tone? That says, I managed to scan a data site all the way down. I almost got another one accidentally, but this is the one that I got, and I can say warp to it.
Warp drive active.
Now, the one thing to remember is your probes are still out there, poor little things. And so if you say, come home probes, they all will come back and be in your inventory. What they don't do is automatically reload. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Now I'm almost at the data site, so I can close the map because I'm where I need to be. And you have a nice little training container right there. So I say approach, go over to the training container. I'm not that patient, so I kick in the overdrive. And I right-click my core probe launcher and say reload. And it is busy slotting those 8 probes back in for the next time I want to probe. Okay, can turn this off because I'm right next to it. Now I'm right next to the training container. If I tried opening it, I would get an error message that says, you can't open this unless you have special equipment. Oh, like a data analyzer. So I lock the target, and I trigger the data analyzer, and that brings up the hacking game. Now the hacking game is, somewhere in here is a symbol I want to find. It looks like, well, you'll see it in a few moments. So I'm going through here, and this is like a Minesweeper. The number tells you how far to the thing you want. So you saw that was a 4. Still 4 away. 3 away. 3 away. Oh, gonna be like that, huh? 1 away. So something I want is in one of those spots. I'll guess there. And that is the symbol that I want. That's the system core. Now I'm going to attack the system core, again, just by left clicking once. And it damaged me a little, but I damaged it. And the second time, I successfully hacked it. Nothing comes to you just by successfully hacking it. What you've done is unlocked it. So now when I say open cargo, there's my proof of the discovery. Loot all, and I am done. You can see now that it says got that, just dock again. So I always double check. Did I get my probes back? Yes. Did I remember to loot the thing from the box? Yes, it's in my cargo now. Then it says fine, select the base, go home.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Once I'm back at base, then I can just go to chat with the old agent, complete the mission. She removes the material from my cargo space, so if I open that up now, there's nothing that are inside the ship. You see that's been removed. And say, what's the next mission? And it says exactly the same thing. The only word that changes is relic. So I go back out, scan down a relic site, and then hack, grab, come back. And then the third one is gas. So I'm going to save time and finish this off by scanning both the relic and the gas site down in one pass. So I accept the mission. Again, it's really stupid to not remember to accept missions. All loaded, and this time we'll be using the relic analyzer, so I'm actually moving it up top. I'm in a nice quiet place. I come out of warp, lovely view of the planet, and I say, well, enough of looking at that planet. Hit Alt-P and bring up my scanning again. Notice it doesn't remember all the things you found before. So we have to do this again, and we are going to launch in pinpoint formation. I'm going to jack it back up to 16 to get an overview of the system. If it was a really big system, I might even take it all the way to 32, but this one I think 16 will do, and say Analyze. Okay, we did data sites already, but there is a relic site right there that I can do, and there is a gas site right there that I can do. So I'll get the relic first. Grab it by the handle, shift it over. Always check 3D. It makes a difference. Okay, so make sure you're on top of it from both the side and from the top. To do that, I'm holding down left click on the mouse and just dragging. You can pivot around. If something's off screen and you want to shift the screen, you hold down right click and you can shift the entire image. Left click is for pivoting, right click is for sliding. Okay, I'm a little closer, so I now move it down to 8 AU, still on top of it, and say Analyze again. There are skills that will speed up the movement of the probes, scanning the probes, and the probe strength. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But according to this, I found the relic training site. Now, seeing as I want to do two things at the same time, I'm going to say that's nice, but I'm going to right click and say Save Location. And it will save that relic training site. And I say Save that, Submit. And I've now made a bookmark, and I'll show how to use that in a few moments. But I want to go after that gas site so I get both things out of the way at the same time. So I shift over to there and say analyze. And I didn't check the 3D, which was foolish of me, but we'll see if we manage to get lucky on the gas site. And we now have the gas site. So again, I can right click that, say save location, submit, and I now have both of those locations done. So I've done the next mission ahead of time. I won't be able to go there yet, but I'll leastwise know where it is, so it can speed up the last step. I'm done doing all my probing, so I say recover the probes, they all come home. Close this, and you're going, wait, but you want to go to the relic site, and you just closed the mission, pulled in all the probes, you've lost everything. If I right click in space, under personal locations, there is the relic training site, and I can warp to it.
Warp drive active.
And while I'm heading there, reload. So, once I'm at the relic training site, I have to do exactly the same routine I did with the data. Approach, hack. So there's my little training container. I leave warp, and I can say approach it. And I say a little faster than normal, please, because I don't want to take too long. Now, if you hover over weapons and tools, quite often they'll tell you the range. So I don't have to bump it. I just have to get within 5,000, which I am. So I say I have to lock the target and hack it. And again, I'm looking for that same symbol. 4, 3, 3, 2. Now this is a defense system. It stops me from getting what I want. And unfortunately it looks fairly obvious that what I want's on the far side of that, because everything else is going, nope, it's somewhere over there. So 1, notice I took damage. 2, I made it through. And now what I want is 1 away from there. Oh, I'm a lucky guesser. And 1 takes damage. If I had to do another extra damage one, I'd probably fail the hack. As it is, hack is successful. Now I can open the cargo, loot all, and I have completed that mission. So, as they say, dock.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Once I've docked, start conversation with the agent and complete the mission. And ask for the last one. Now, last one, there's a trick to this, and the number of times I've seen people mess this up and complain about it is amazing. It says, when you take the mission, you will be given a proof of discovery. It will not be put in your ship, it's put in your inventory in the hangar. You need it in your ship to actually get through the mission. So to get to the second area, you need the passkey. To get the passkey, you say accept. You open up your inventory, look in your item hangar, and put the passkey, click, drag and drop it, and put it in the Venture, or in whatever ship you're flying. Okay. That way you can actually go through. So I've accepted it, I have to go out, I have to come back with a proof of discovery gas, and if I can do it fast enough, I'm going to get a ship and 55,000. So I say, boy, that might take me a while to scan something down, except for this fact that I've already scanned down a gas site. So I don't have to go to my happy place, I don't have to hit Alt-P, I don't have to do anything other than right-click in open space, say gas training site, warp.
Warp drive active.
Now there's nothing here, but there is a gate. So select the gate, activate.
Warp drive active.
If I didn't have the pass key, that gate would not activate. It'd say you need a key or a pass to get through this, and I'd have to go all the way back, dock, drag the key onto the ship, and then come back to here again. There is a training container, and for once they put it right next to me because it doesn't need hacking. Loot. And everything's good. Notice the pass key stays. And so now I am done, and according to this, the only thing I have to do is dock.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Start a conversation. Complete the mission. And we are done. We now have in the hangar a new ship, the Heron, which is the Caldari specific scanning ship. So if you decided to go into a career in exploration, that is the ship you would start with. And it is a very nice little ship. It is not a combat ship. It is a specific ship for scanning. The reason being, if you take a look, you get a per Caldari frigate level, you get 7.5% bonus to core and scanner probe strength. And you also get 5% bonus to relic and data analyzer strength, virus strength. So you are a little stronger when you're hacking, and you're a little better at finding the places in the first place. Those bonuses do help on tougher scans. Now the other thing I want to point out before I quit this, which will be in just a few minutes, is civilian material is only good for the career missions. After that it is useless, so get it off your ship. It is not something that you will use. If you actually do real exploring, you want to get a normal data analyzer. You want to get a normal relic analyzer. But that is the complete set of missions for the exploration career agent. We ended with a little over 1 million, and I started with a heck of a lot less. So we made about 1 million on this. We've gone shopping. Actually, can we go all the way back to the beginning? Yeah, when we bought the book and the ore, my balance was about 530. So we made about 800,000 on this set of missions. But we have a new ship, we have a probe launcher and probes, and that is how the exploration is done. Hopefully this was helpful. If not, send me a note and tell me what you didn't get, and I will try to make a better one. But that's it for now.